أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So I started Surah Baqarah today, and the ayah I want to talk about, it's actually a very cool story. So I was talking with one of my good friends today, much wiser than me, mashallah. He has a pretty good understanding of like Islam. I'll go to him sometimes if I have questions. And we were talking about how the Quran is like unparalleled, right? Like just, if you just look at the grammar and the breakdown of it, the rhyming schemes, the parallelism, all of that, right? And I mentioned to him, I was like, um, I mentioned to him that there is an ayah in the Quran somewhere that it says Allah Subhanahu wa Taala challenges us to recreate a surah. And I was actually talking with him I was also talking about how sometimes like I get that feeling where if I'm talking with one of my friends about something Islamically related, I will find that ayah somehow in the Quran later, or I'll see a video on it. Um, and funny enough, that same ayah, without even me knowing, was in my order today that I was memorizing. And I just thought that was like so amazing. But just to go over that ayah, so it's in Surah Baqarah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَإِن كُنتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ مِّمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَىٰ عَبْدِنَا فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِّثْلِهِ وَادْعُوا شُهَدَاءَكُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. And this means, and if you are in doubt about what we revealed to our servant, then produce a surah like it and call your helpers other than Allah, if what you say is true. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala literally is challenging us, or those that are in doubt about the Quran, to try and produce a chapter, right? A surah. And it's so funny because there was actually someone that tried to do this, right? And there's a great video. Actually, I'm gonna put the link of that video in the description. Everyone that's watching this video should go watch that video because it really goes into detail about how the Quran is truly, first of all, a masterpiece, and secondly, impossible for a human to write, and thirdly, a human to replicate, even like make something similar to it. It's impossible. And I think everyone should watch that video. But the reason why I bring this up is because in Surah Baqarah, there's actually, if you look at ayahs 11 to 13, right? Um, and for the sake of the quickness of the video, I'm just going to read these ayahs. وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُصْلِحُونَ أَلَا إِنَّهُمْ هُمُ الْمُفْسِدُونَ وَلَكِنْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ وإذا قيل لهم آمنوا كما آمن الناس قالوا أنؤمن كما آمن السفهاء ألا إنهم هم السفهاء ولكن لا يعلمون. And the reason why I bring up these ayahs is because if you look at the parallelism between them, it's amazing. So this starts out with وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ, right? And then it goes into the second part of both of those ayahs is أَلَا إِنَّهُمْ humul, and then mufsidun, which was mentioned in the first ayah, walakin la yash'urun. And the second one is ala innahum humus sufaha'u walakin la ya'lamun. And I just think if you look at the parallelism between it, it's like just masterful. It's clearly the work of someone, or like just something that's not human, right? Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God, who is not human. Um, the reason why I hesitated there is because God is not a, I think we make this mistake so often. God is not a he, right? Like God is like when we say like, I don't know. It's interesting because I feel like maybe in parts of the Quran it's referenced that He is watching over us, or maybe it's Allah is watching us. I'll have to look into that. Um, but obviously Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is not human. That's the bottom line point. So it's the work of a higher power. That's the right word, a higher power. So I just thought that was very interesting, and having a great time memorizing Surah Baqarah so far. I would recommend, actually, if you are looking to get into memorization, start with Surah Baqarah because it is very easy, at least like to pick up the first couple ayahs. Some of the other surahs that I started with, like Surah Tawbah, Surah um, Al Hujurat, um, parts of like Surah Muhammad, they were pretty tough. So definitely recommend Surah Baqarah. But thank you for listening. And inshallah, please check out that video. I'll put the link of it in the description. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.